How would you like to be making $1,000 a week within the next month from your new side hustle? And I'm not talking revenue. I'm not talking gross. I'm talking net. I'm talking cash in your pocket profit within a month, weekly, $1,000. Does that sound good to you? Does that sound like a nice start off to your new side hustle? Not even working full time, mind you. Well, if that sounds appealing, then you're watching the right episode, because in today's episode, that is what we are going to be discussing, getting to $1,000 a week within your first month. So sharpen your pencil, put on your helmet, and strap in, because we're going 0 to 1,000 real quick. What's going on, eaters and feeders? My name is Casey, and on my channel, I discuss business tips and tricks, startup hacks, entrepreneur mindset, and so much more based on my experience growing Florida's highest rated meal prep company. If you want to learn more about marketing, production, leadership, software, and so much more, I suggest you smash that subscribe button, slam that alert notification so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. I come out with content weekly, and I don't want you missing any of it. I'm also going to suggest you check out the links in the show notes. The links in the show notes have a ton of extra content that I just can't put on YouTube, as well as mealprepbiz101.com. Through the links and through mealprepbiz101.com, you'll gain access to a bunch of other resources, a lot of other content, calculators, private group, one-on-one consulting with yours truly. And did I mention, no I didn't, 100% free software that will basically run your entire business for you. So if that stuff sounds good after this episode, or maybe put it on pause and check that stuff out now, links in the show notes, mealprepbiz101.com. Now that we've got that shameless self-promotion out of the way, let's jump into today's episode.
Welcome to our channel, where we go behind the scenes for meal plan company Fit Food Fresh and other local businesses across South Florida. Make sure you hit the subscribe and alerts so you never miss a video, and hit us with any questions or suggestions.
All right, now you're probably getting bombarded with all sorts of guys on YouTube and Instagram and tickety-tockety claiming that they're going to show you how to be a millionaire. Well, I'm not going to claim to show you how to be a millionaire working 4 hours a week with nothing more than a Wi-Fi connection in your cell phone. I'm not that guy. This is going to require some ingenuity, some work, some hustle, but I assure you it is way better than the alternative of, maybe going to school for 7 years to be a doctor to make this kind of money. Now, you're not going to start off at that level. Actually, you could. It's completely up to you. But our first goal is going to be $1,000 in profit a week. Why $1,000? Well, there's a few reasons. Number one, $1,000 is pretty decent income, especially considering that you're not going to be working full-time. You won't have to be working full-time. Now, if you want to throw full-time effort into this, you're only going to make more money. You're only going to make more progress, and more power to you. I highly suggest you take this seriously and do put full-time effort into this. But I know a lot of you are probably looking for some extra money and looking for something that's economy-proof. Maybe you're out of work. Not going to go into all the different possibilities your situation may find yourself in, but if you're in this situation where an extra $1,000 a week in profit, in your pocket, in your bank account, helping you pay your bills, sounds like a good idea, and you've got the time and the energy and the brain power to put into a new project, I will basically walk you through it. Aside from my other videos, this is going to be a fast track kind of target setup for you to understand what your goals should be, to get you to where you want to be, and give you a position where you can start making more moves. Now, there's a bunch of different ways that you can go after this, but the end goal is at $1,000 a week. Now you have money to throw into marketing. You could start hiring people. You have a real business going. $1,000 a week in profit, even if you kept this just as a solo thing that you're doing yourself, you'd be making probably as much as a lot of chefs in restaurants, and those guys are working like 60 to 80 hours a week. Plus, there's that inconsistency in their season availability and all sorts of other things. Some of them are being shut down, unfortunately. There might be more shutdowns coming if they haven't reached your area yet. So I've got other videos as to why this business model works, why it's been proven through 2020. It's a great business to be in for 2021 because it's economy proof, it's shutdown proof, and it's an essential business. So if you're not convinced, watch those videos. That's not what this video is about, but let's get back to the $1,000 a month. That is going to give you, like I said, enough money for you to survive, or you can start actually building your business and grow that profit by making investments, but you at least have some money to be putting into the business to help it grow. Like I said, scaling with your labor, scaling with some marketing, whatever you want to do, that $1,000 is going to be yours. Now, how many clients am I talking about? Well, in this scenario, I've worked it out to 25 clients. That is what the goal is. Now, we're going to work through the numbers from profit to reality so you can see how it's going to map out. Now, the goal of 25 customers is really based on the fact that you can fit on average about 25 to 30 bags in the average sedan. That means if you're doing deliveries yourself, this could be one route that you're doing, whether you're delivering once a week or twice a week. This will be one route that you'd be able to do yourself if you have to, and be able to knock out all the deliveries as well as the production, the purchasing, and all that other fun stuff. Like I said, this is set up so that you don't have to have any employees until you are profitable, and then you can start investing in employees if you want. I know some guys who are doing everything by themselves. More power to you. I couldn't cook, otherwise we probably would have started that way as well. Now, as I mentioned before, if you get to this level, you've got a myriad of different possibilities that you can do. You can now start hiring other people so that you're able to focus on the business and growing and scaling and customer service and sales and all that other stuff that allows you to bring in even more income. Or you could hover at a pretty comfortable level just putting in, 1 or 2 rounds of cooking a week. What would I do? I would definitely outsource the delivery as soon as possible and outsource the cooking as soon as possible so I could focus on growing the business. But that's my prerogative. That's because I don't want to be working in a kitchen. If you dig cooking and you want to do a couple rounds of cooking a week, more power to you. Go for it. Now let's start getting into some of the actionables. First of all, I've already got a couple of videos on menu design and I've got a lot of good tips there, so I'm not going to waste your time in this video on that. I'm just going to breeze over some stuff. If you want to check out those videos, just do a search on my channel, type in the word menu, and I'm sure a couple of them will pop up. Maybe I've got a link popping up here or down there somewhere, and you can check those out. But this is going to be a broad stroke idea just so you understand what your actionables are going to be over the next 30 days. Now, since you're going to be making the food yourself, you should be able to fit in about, let's say, $4 to $6 worth of profit from each one of your meals. Now, normally, if you're paying somebody, some of that money is going to be going towards labor, but we're working under the scenario, the assumption that you're going to be producing your own food. So let's be conservative and say you're only making $4 per meal. And that's not bad, or at least an average of $4, maybe more on some, less on the others. An easy way to do this is first you come up with a menu, you figure out what your meal prices are going to be, at least on an average, and then you add the $4. Now, you want to have an average. Maybe some of the meals are obviously going to be costing a little bit more, a little bit less. You don't want them to sway too greatly. Otherwise, it makes your pricing and everything else kind of wonky. But the end goal is to be making at least $4 per meal off of the menus that you're going to be creating. At $9, you should be able to pull off a $5 meal with all the materials and food costs and everything else. Done deal, sold meal, and still be walking away with $4 in profit in your pocket. So the simple math you're going to be doing is your containers, your food costs, plus whatever you want to be making a profit, and now we come up with roundabout your retail price. I've also got more detailed videos on pricing, and that's probably popping up here, or below, so check those out. But again, we're just breezing through this. I want to be fast and efficient for you. Now, the way this math is going to work out is you're going to want to be pushing 10 meals per person per week. Now, that's just lunch and dinner Monday through Friday. Everybody needs lunch and dinner Monday through Friday. In fact, they need much more than that, but we're not even expecting them to be buying every single meal from you. Maybe they'll figure out their own thing for breakfast, they'll figure out their own thing for their weekends, but we're looking at working people. And what are the hardest meals for most people to get during the week? Lunch and dinner Monday through Friday. That's 10 meals right there. So now we're already doing some quick math in our heads, right? You got that $4 in your head. Now you got the 10 meals in your head. Now you're thinking, okay, so that's $40 per person. Not bad. Now we're going to shift gears for a second just to mention one thing. I always suggest, actually no, I insist that you charge for delivery. Not only is delivery probably a source of profit for you, but it's definitely a hard cost. Whether you're doing it yourself or you're going to eventually end up paying somebody else to do it, you're going to want to make sure that you're getting money for delivery. If you can't find 5 people who are willing to pay you for delivery, just keep on calling around, keep on reaching out, because there will be some people who understand that the real value of this entire service, this entire product, isn't the food, it's the convenience. And what's the most convenient part of this? The food coming to me so I don't have to go to it, right? So if you can't find people who can justify the delivery fee, just let them go, come back to them later, maybe offer a pickup situation for them, because you do not want to be losing money paying somebody else to deliver once you get to the point of hiring a delivery person. Again, I've got more in-depth videos on delivery. Maybe they're popping up here or below. We don't know, but we're going to keep going. So now some quick math. The first week, I want you to be picking up 5 people. Do you know 5 people who eat in your area? You do? That's amazing. Me too. So it should be no problem for you to get 5 people paying for 10 meals on which you're making $4 each meal, plus the delivery fee, unless they're picking up. So what's that math? Quick. $200. So $200 of profit in your pocket your first week. That's after all of your expenses are paid. Now, why 5? Well, honestly, 10 is better. 20 is great because then you hit the ground running. You're making $800 your first week. But 5, for someone who's unexperienced, you're not going to make too many mistakes where 5 would be overwhelming. Maybe you'll make some mistakes with your pricing. Maybe you burn a rack of chicken. It's not going to put you in the poorhouse because you have to buy more chicken to fulfill the expectations, and shame on you for not knowing how to cook. 5, you can make some mistakes and you get at least an idea of what your routine is going to look like. Now, the next week, what are we going to do? We're going to ask for another 5 of our friends, family, coworkers, neighbors. I keep on referring, you guys have probably seen in other videos, I always give a shout out to Sonia from the private group who literally went door to door to get her first 10 customers. If she can do it, you can do it. No excuses. So now after 2 weeks, we've got 10 people eating our food and we've profited $400. So now all in, after 2 weeks, we've actually made $600. $200 the first week, $400 the second week, and you can see where this is going. Now, 5 is also a very reasonable pace, and it's also a very manageable pace. If you're growing by 5 people a week, you're probably not going to make too many mistakes, and that's an important thing because one thing that I think is crucial for this business is setting expectations that you're going to meet, not only for the food quality that you're going to be delivering, but also customer service. If people have questions or concerns, if there's any headaches, you want to make sure that you have not bitten off too much, that you can't accommodate everybody who you're doing business with, because it's a very quick way to burn your brand, burn your reputation, and you don't want that happening, especially not at the gate, but not never, not never, okay? So now week number 3, week number 4, week number 5, you can see where this is going. We're gonna add 5, 5, and 5. Now after 5 weeks, we're at 25 people. 5 weeks times adding $200 a week in profit each week brings us to, $1,000. Now let's go back to that delivery fee and talk about that for a little bit. We've got $1,000 of profit just off of the food right now. If you're doing your own deliveries, you might be profiting from that as well. Let's do some quick math. At Fit Food Fresh, we charge $15 a week for delivery. $15 a week. Now that covers 2 deliveries, Monday and Thursday. But whether or not you want to do 1 delivery, 2 delivery, whatever, maybe start off with 1 delivery. Make it easy on yourself to start off with. And I go into this in other videos as well. But at $15 a week times 25 people, that's $375 on top of that $1,000 that's coming in. Now, if you're the delivery driver, that's going into your pocket. If you want to hire a delivery driver so that you're able to go home and get some sleep, which I strongly suggest, you've now got $375 that you can use to pay for that person. Now, even if that's covering 2 shifts, give them $150 a shift, you're still walking away with $75 in your pocket. So now we're at $1,075 a week. Nice, right? Now, I never ever calculate any assumption for delivery profit to be considered in any of the business's profit. I just focus on the food costs because you don't know the variables. You don't know what the delivery routes are going to be like, how efficient they're going to be, how much it's really going to cost. So always assume that the delivery money is going to be completely consumed with your delivery fees, or maybe everyone's going to be doing pickup, even if you're charging for delivery, whatever. So that way, if you have that extra $75 or $100 left over, it's a cherry on top, and it's bonus money, but you're not expecting it and budgeting for it and then finding out that it's not going to be there because people switch to pickup or the routes are less efficient or whatever happened. Now, not that I think you need it, but I also have obviously videos on sales. You can check those out up there, down there, wherever. But 25 people, like, come on, you don't know 25 people in your area who eat? Go outside and bump into, well, don't really bump into people, keep that 6-foot distance, but from a safe 6-foot distance with your mask on, say, hey, do you eat food? And when they say yeah, be like, here's what I do. Maybe you don't have a card yet to whip out, but I also have other videos on how to build Google Forms and do announcements on Facebook and all sorts of other things, all sorts of other resources. I think you get the point. You're obviously new to my channel if you don't understand this stuff, so definitely check out my channel, check out my website for all that other stuff. Again, this is broad strokes kind of stuff. If you are a beginner, you're going to want to check out my free Beginners Bootcamp. Now that goes over a lot more detail. There's several videos involved, and it goes from production to delivery to software and sales and customer service, all sorts of stuff. So check that out. That is on my site, mealprepbiz101.com. That's absolutely free. I've also got another series on my website that is more focused on growing your business and getting to at least that 20 client mark, because I think that's really important. 20 to 25 is when it really starts becoming a real business. You've got some real money, you can start marketing, you can start hiring, and that's when it's more of a business if you want it to be. And I strongly suggest you check it out. 20 clients in 20 days, who doesn't want that? Even if you're already in operation, I'm sure there's some stuff in there that you can learn from, right? Again, you can find both of those on my site, as well as a bunch of other tools and calculators. Don't forget that free software that will run your entire business. Might be a little bit advanced for you beginners, but I've got a order tracking system that is very easy to use, a little complicated to use, but not as complicated and in-depth as the software. Check out the Beast. You can do a search on my channel for that as well. The Beast, the order tracking system, those kind of buzzwords, and you'll find some demos, some walkthroughs for it. It's an exceedingly complex spreadsheet, but don't worry, I made it. You don't have to. You just have to learn how to use it, and my videos do a pretty good job at walking you through that. Again, that's available also through the show notes, as well as at my website, mealprepbiz101.com. Hopefully you guys are starting to see a pattern here. A lot of stuff is at mealprepbiz101.com and in the show notes. So if you want more information on starting a meal prep, growing your meal prep, marketing, production, all that jazz, yada, 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 links in the show notes. Subscribe, alert notifications, and check out mealprepbiz101.com. Again, I've got free software, I've got private groups, I've got one-on-one consulting, and so much more. And if this is something that you're interested in, doing, I suggest you check out all of my videos. If you're new, check out some of my free resources, and reach out when you're ready to get to a serious level at taking your business to where you want it to be.